Hey guys, you got Crave here, and here's a video I never thought I'd get to do. Well, I always had the footage and the photos, but I never really got down to just basically have some time to sit down, write talking points, and fix it up for render. Anyway, here's an unboxing video and review of the tenless keyboard from Corsair. It's the K65 Lux RGB. I'll talk about its features while the unboxing footage plays out and show some photos every once in a while. So as I mentioned, it's a 10-less keyboard or 10 keyless board that I got a day before the first day of this year, so around December 30 or 31. Now there are really just three things that attracted me to this board. So first is that the caps are, well, they're slightly lifted to expose the base or the switch area of the keys. Now this allows for a different illumination of the board as opposed to the initial style of the first iterations of well, lit mechanical keyboards. The second is that it has an aluminum body which shows a very sturdy feel to it, and lastly it's 10 keyless, which means it doesn't have the extra numpad keys on the right side, which means more available horizontal space on my desk. I had another keyboard in mind with somewhat similar features, but what really won me over to the K65 Lux was, well, the 10 keyless format and the fact that it had a USB pass-through on the back. This really just helps me connect my mouse and not have it extended all the way to my desktop, which is a bit further away from what you would normally see in most computer setups. So let's quickly look at some of the shots of the stuff you see when you open the box. Of course, you see the board and the dual USB connectors, which is pretty much a standard for boards with USB pass-throughs, and it also has extra keycaps and its remover in case you want to switch out your keys, although they're limited in number. It also has this wrist rest, which has a hard rubber feel or hard rubber-like material to it. When I first saw the product page for the K65 Lux, I thought, yeah, that's not really a whole lot, not really useful. But you know, when I first placed it on my desk and started using it, well, it's really just comfortable. So I would suggest that if you do decide to get this K65, to just give the wrist rest or the palm rest a trial period, because it's really comfy. And using that remover, it will also show this particular K65's switch, which is color red, which means it's a linear switch. Now personally, for me, a linear switch means that it has this clack but not the click effect and sound you would expect from other mechanical keyboards. I used to have the standard Black Widow keyboard from Razer, so I think they had the equivalent of a blue switch, so you get the click and the clack. The keyboard previous to this K65 was the Stealth board, also a Black Widow board from Razer. So I think it's the closest in terms of to having a red switch. So you know what? In fact, let's just freeze this frame and let's hear what both boards will sound like. Of course, real-world experience will be different unless you're the type who hammers away at your board while gaming. Basically you'll barely notice it while in the middle of gaming or whatever it is that you're playing. If you're hitting your keys every once in a while, or even if it's constant, you'll barely notice it. Now, looking at the board closely, here are some of the shots or pictures of the raised caps. The red switchers are very obvious and it's really eye-catching. Its physical height, the board itself, the whole board, is when you use the stands, it makes it slightly higher than my Razer Stealth board, a Black Widow Stealth board. And when using the wrist or palm rest, its width difference is significant when compared to the same board. You also have your pass-through, which is located at the back of the board along with the BIOS selector. Now the RGB lighting, which is still a big deal to most people, is really nice and smooth. In fact, RGB is so Big nowadays. Linus just posted a video for the RGB RAM from G-Skill, which I think was just teased late last year. Anyway, lighting is for the most part, well, I would say good on this board, and the software that Corsair pairs with it is great. The software is called Corsair Utility Engine, or Q, and it really just provides a whole lot of customization options of basically what color you want to show up and how you want that to show up. The software can be confusing at first, I found it confusing at first, but once you get used to it, or at least get the hang of things a little bit, it's great. It's really great. It's highly customizable. There's a whole lot that you can do with it. However, it's also the lighting feature of the board where I found the drawback, or maybe just a lack. I'm not sure which term to use, but yeah, there is a slight color quote-unquote bleed, which might be due to the switches being slightly exposed. And the second thing I noticed is that it's not as bright as compared to other boards, which I feel might also be due to the raised cap format. It's not a big deal, but it's something you might want to consider in case you were thinking about the K65 Lux. Now, in spite of these two, I'm keeping the board as the extra horizontal space I get out of it, the solid look it has, and the highly customizable lighting. It really just wins me over. And there you have it. A short video on the unboxing and short review of the K65 Lux RGB. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of this video, and as always, thanks for watching.